Okay, guys, this is our angles review. First off, we're going to talk about the 7th grade and 8th grade stuff, where we had complementary, supplementary angles, adjacent angles, and vertical angles. Now, remember when it came to complementary angles. Be writing this stuff down. Don't forget that there's going to be a certain amount of notes on your post-test that you're going to be able to use. You remember our complementary angles were two angles that added up to 90 degrees. That was our equation business. A plus B equals 90. Now, if they are adjacent, meaning they share a side, they will create that 90-degree angle. They don't have to be adjacent. They could be two separate angles as long as they add up to 90 degrees. A plus B equals 90. Adjacent means that they're sharing this side, but adjacent doesn't mean that they're complementary. They can be separated. All right, so like an example of that would be looking for one on your, so let's say I have over here, I have 14, and here I have 3x plus 46. All right, here's my A and B, or A and B. It don't matter which one you label which. But I've got to put them together. I've got to add this plus this gives me 90. So I'm going to say 3x plus 46 plus 14 equals 90. Because they're both constant, they're like terms. So I have 3x plus 60 equals 90 minus the 60, and 3x equals 30. Divide by that 3, and x equals 10, right? Be careful. Make sure you read your questions carefully. Sometimes they want you to tell them what the x equals, but sometimes you have to plug it in and get the measure of the angle, and that would be 30 plus 46 equals 76. And then I can check my work because I could say 76 plus 14 equals 90. Yep, that's a true. So that gives me the answer to it, right? All right, the other one was supplementary. Supplementary angles, they don't add up to 90. This time our equation is going to be A plus B equals 180. If they are adjacent, they won't make a 90-degree angle. If they are adjacent, they'll make a straight line. They'll be a linear pair because together they make a straight line. They don't have to. Remember, they can be separated or together. If they're together, they're also called adjacent. And this is A and B. What if I have, and this is another one of your problems for today, I have 57, and I have x plus 23. So what's that equation going to look like? X plus 23 plus 57 equals 180. X plus 20 and 50 is 70. 3 and 7 is 10, so 70 and 10 is 80. So minus that 80, and x equals 100. Okay? Again, they're called a linear pair because if you put them together, they create that straight line. They're supplementary because they add up to 180. If you put them together, they're called adjacent, but they don't have to be adjacent in order to be supplementary. All right, the other. What kind of angles do we get if we have two intersecting lines? What were these angles called? What if this was A and B? Do you remember what the name of these are? Vertical angles. They are opposite of each other. They only touch at that vertex. Angle A and angle B will always equal each other. And if I said this was C and D, then these two, C and D, would also equal each other. This is A equals B. Don't set these equal to 180. Do not set them equal to 90. Don't set them equal to anything but each other, right? Let's look at your assignment and looking for one with an actual equation in it. So what if I have 8x plus 10 and 2x plus, I don't know, we'll be silly and say 90. So I've got to pause this a minute, guys. Hold on for me for 1 second. I hope I can pause it. Okay. All right. So the equation 8x plus 10 equals 2x plus 90. A equals B. Do not try to add them together. Now, when you do these equations, remember that's where you have to cancel it off of one side. So I have 6x plus 10 equals 90. Subtract that 10, and 6x equals 80. Divide by that 6, and I believe we're going to get a repeating decimal on this one. 80 divided by 6, 13.3. Repeating. Okay? All right. I hope you've written this down in your notes. I want you to pause the video. I want you to do the assignment in Edulastic that says Angles Test. And then when you get done with that, I want you to come back to this video and we're going to start about our interior and exterior angles. That's going to be the triangle problems. Okay? All right, pause and go do your assignment Angles Test in Edulastic. Remember to sign in with Google, not a username and password. Okay, I hope that went well. And we are going to now talk about the triangle. Remember, when I have a triangle, 3 angles, A plus B plus C equals 180, right? More of your problems on this assignment today are going to be the opposite interior. If this is outside, then that is my exterior angle. I'm not going to mess with this angle here because it is adjacent. My opposites interior angles are over on this side. Okay, so this is A, B, and this is, we're going to say E for exterior. A plus B equals E. My exterior angles. Opposite interior equal the exterior angle. So I'm going to look at this assignment and I'm going to pull a couple of problems and do them. So what if I have $60 and x and 2x plus 4? Opposite interior angles added together equal the exterior angle. So 60 plus x equals 2x plus 4. I'm going to subtract that x from both sides, and 60 equals x plus 4. Got to subtract that 4, and x equals 54. Okay? All right, let's try. Whoa, wait a minute. Not 54, I'm sorry. 56. Oh my goodness, got to be able to subtract. All right, what if I have one where we're trying to be a little bit tricky? Now, I give you these two and 35, and I want these two. Well, these three have to add up to 180, right? So I would say 35 plus 55 plus x equals 180. 35 and 55, 30 and 50 is 80, 5 and 5 is 10. So 80 plus 10 gives me 90. I'm going to subtract that 90 from both sides, and x equals 90. Are you writing this stuff down, guys? All right, now this I could find out two different ways. I could add up, I know this is 90, so I could say 55 plus 90, or that's a linear pair right there because they create that straight line. I could say 180 minus 35, not 55. So let's see. 90 plus 55 or 180 minus 35. Both ways, I'm going to get 145. Okay. All right, one more of these. Really not anything on here very hard. All right, did I have this one? Let's see. All right, we're going to try this one. Going down here and coming across here. All right, so this angle right here is 13x minus 3. That's this angle. Now this angle is my adjacent, right? So my opposite interior has to be those two angles. So this is 55, and this is 3x plus 2. So remember, opposite interior angles added together equals the exterior. So I'm going to say 3x plus 2 plus 55 equals 13x minus 3. So 2 plus 55 is 57, minus the 3x from both sides gives me 10x minus 3. I'm going to add that 3 to both sides, and I've got 60 equals 10x. Divide by that 10, and x equals 6. All right, make sure both assignments in Edulastic are done, guys. I hope you wrote these examples down and showed all your work so that you can see how we got to the answers.